Hello and welcome everybody. I hope everyone can hear us. This is the winter edition of the State of the Union webinar. And also this is the last webinar of this year. So we will celebrate in a festive way. We wish you all a happy preparation for the holidays. Before we start with the introductions, a few housekeeping notes for you. Please note that this session is recorded and we will send this to you after the webinar. And also, in case you have questions during the webinar, please put them in the Q&A, which you can find in Zoom. And we will answer to those after the webinar, if we have time. If you don't have time, we will still answer those and we will send it to you with the recording. Let's go with the introductions. My name is Charlotte Geyer. I work for Tresorit as a product marketing analyst. I'm here for 2.5 years now, and I'm very happy to host this webinar and talk about our new feature, the Cooperative link. I'm very happy also to introduce you our guest, Miguel Gurrola, who is one of our customers. And we are happy that he accepted our invite and he will talk about his experience with this new tool and we'll show you a few use cases. So with that, Miguel, I would like to give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to the audience.
Hello, my name is Miguel Gurrola. I'm managing partner and co-founder of Conscious Performance GmbH, a research-based consulting firm based in Germany, in Königstein im Taunus, and founded in 2014. I had the privilege to work for more than 24 years for top multinationals around the world, companies like Coca-Cola, Unilever, Boehringer Ingelheim, etc. I'm very glad to be here. Thank you, Sarolta, for the opportunity, and thank you for Tresorit. One disclosure to the audience is important to say that I received this invitation as a customer of Tresorit, so then I don't receive any payment, anything for the webinar. Basically, I'm here to share my experience in using the services of this Swiss-based company and my experience collaborating with top multinationals, Fortune 500, in a safe way using Tresorit. So then that's me, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Miguel. Also, could you please tell us why did you decide to become a Tresorit customer?
Yes, basically when we started our company and we started to work consulting projects, specifically in the field of culture transformation and also in leadership development and building high-performing teams, we started to work with top multinationals, especially in Germany, in Switzerland at the beginning, then in other areas like in Americas and Asia. And these top Fortune 500 companies always request a good high degree of security. They ask you clearly, what are you going to do with the data? Where are you going to store the data? How can we make sure that this data is going to keep or to be kept confidential and safe? And after checking in the market many options at that point of time, Tresorit was very compliant with what we were looking for. And from there until now, it's been 10 years working with Tresorit in a safe way. So then basically you provide us the security in terms of data management and very high standards of protection. And our customers feel okay and feel very satisfied that we are taking care of their data in a cloud like Tresorit. So then this is also confirmed in audits and in processes when we start to work with a new client.
Okay, great to hear that you're satisfied with us. Thank you so much. We will hear about Miguel later, but first, moving on, I would like to talk a bit about our new feature, the Cooperative link, which we will discover together Today, if you are a Tresorit user owning a business package or an enterprise package, you probably heard about this feature. We were launching this a month ago. If you haven't tried it yet, I will show you also a few ways how you can enjoy the benefits of it. So basically, this is an easy one-link way of sharing files and with the third party and receiving it back. This also gives you the opportunity to modify the files while keeping track of the versions. And what's really good about it that we built in email notifications. So whenever a new version is uploaded or whenever the link is opened, our users receive an email notification. So I think this saves a lot of time. The parties don't need to inform each other on, okay, I've made some updates in this link. It's all automated. What made a really huge impact in creating this new feature were the many feedback we received from our customers. If you're a customer, probably you know that you have the opportunity in the app to make a feature request or leave comments. It's a very, very good way to influence what we will develop in the future. So if you haven't tried it yet, I really recommend you to live with this opportunity. And what we heard from our customers is that they need a one-link solution instead of sending a live link and a file request at the same time when they need to work on a document or on a report with one of their parties who is not a Tresorit user. It would make their lives easier if you would combine these two. One of the people who made a comment was indeed Miguel. This is why we contacted him. And now I'd like to give you again an opportunity, Miguel, to share with us what made you send us this feature request? What was the business need behind it? Miguel?
Yes, we are a German company, and the regulations in terms of global data protection are very, very strict. And we are collaborating with customers, specifically in projects where we have access to very sensitive information. And it's important also to say, when we start a project with a new customer, we have always this contracting piece. And this has a huge exchange of information and data in every clause we have in a contract. And at the end of the day, we were always asking ourselves, what was the last version? Where is it? And tracking all this information was very challenging for us, especially for the amount of data and information that we manage. And that's why we requested it would be great to have this type of functionality to really collaborate in a safe way with our customers. And I'm very glad that Tresorit could listen to us and helped us really to have this solution, because it's making our life easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're happy to hear that. After we collected all this information from the market, what happens usually is that our engineering team comes up with possible solutions. And our great UX research team then verifies it with qualitative interviews. They show prototypes, they do usability tests. And this is also important because apart from seeing if the solution that we want to give to our users is really useful, we can receive other comments on the go. In this case, it was the version control. So what came up during these interviews as well was that besides sharing, making file sharing easier, it would be very, very important also to keep track of the versions. So we built in this functionality as well. Usually what we do is engineering, we go back to engineering, they develop these new features and we keep on testing until we think the product is ready, and then we put it into development. So that was the story of the cooperative link. Now, let me show you the product in action. We recorded a demo for you, and I hope I can start it. So let's imagine it's a sales manager who's creating a cooperative link to send the contract. How you should create it is very similar to the live link creation. You need to hit the share button in Tresorit, and then you need to choose Can Modify. This is a new addition to the existing interface. Once you hit that button, it's already cooperative link. We highly recommend you to go to the link settings, and among the advanced settings, if it's not default for you, turn on the email notifications. As mentioned, this will make the communication much easier. And then you can send the link in a chat message. You can make your own email, or you can choose our built-in email solution and send it to your partner, who will receive the link. And after clicking on the link, they can simply verify themselves with an email. They don't need to register to Tresorit, and they can access the documents in a very, very safe way. After they gave the verification code, they are now able to see the document, and also they are able to download it and upload a new version. As you can see on the sidebar, that's where you can keep track of the version history. After the changes were made in the document, with a simple drag and drop, you can upload the new version, and the sender is immediately notified about the upload of the new document, and they can go and check it as easy as it sounds. They will receive an email like that. They can click on open file, and they can access the file, and this can go back and forth as many times as it's needed. Okay, how does this solve the issues that our users brought up during the feature request? It's a we don't require registration for external contributors, so we don't force anyone to be a Tresorit customer. It's an easy one-link solution. We think that it makes collaboration much easier. And also, I would like to ask Miguel also to tell us how did this new feature make your life easier? How did this help with the collaboration going smoother with your partners?
Yes, basically we have only one source. The document is there, and it is shared. And basically we have multiple sources of information. And let me give you an example. For example, we are working in projects with top multinationals in aligning business strategy. That's a very simple strategy. The information is very sensitive, and we can share not only PowerPoint presentations, but also very sensitive documents. And we need to reach an agreement on how we are going to use that information, and we are exchanging comments all the time, and this is making the life easier because we have one source, we have full control who is writing what and when. And in addition to that, everyone is feeling really, really safe because they know that Tresorit is a very, very secure area, and we can collaborate in a very efficient way. Also, it's very friendly to use this new tool and solutions. So then we have saved a huge amount of time, which is having an impact in our efficiency, especially in project management teams when we collaborate together.
And you also mentioned that with the versioning, what was made easier is that you didn't need to rename all the time the documents. This was a
Yes, that happens a lot. Something very, very common is in the document all the time. When in the past, when someone was doing a change, had to change the date and put in version 1, 2, 3, 2.0, 3.0, etc. And that was really, really difficult, the tracking and to see what was the last version by when. And we were losing a lot of time really tracking documents in that way.
Great. Now, can you please share with us just one use case where you use the cooperative link? You told us that you work in HR consulting. You work with business leaders, for example, with executive development processes. You worked a lot with these type of people. How was your collaboration with business leaders and your team before you started to use our new feature, and how is it now? What was made easier?
Yes, I think it would be great to provide some examples. Of course, we keep the confidentiality. We cannot say where, but in a top multinational company, for example, in Switzerland, we have a huge culture transformation project. And that meant that we have to work in the business practices, and we have to build high-performing teams and at the same time developing leaders. So then the amount of information that we were having was also very sensitive because we had access to personality assessments, we had access to 360 degrees feedback about leaders. We also had access to performance indicators, etc. So then the request was to build meaningful development and career plans for those leaders. And in order to do that, they had to work first with the first ideas and in an executive coaching process, we were accompanying them in at least 8 to 10 sessions in a year, and they were documenting everything. So then basically what changed with this solution is now when we do that with other companies, basically the leaders are doing self-reflection and they are writing everything they need or the initial ideas and brainstorming for development plans. And we are exchanging all the time. We can add comments. This is possible. I think this is challenging. What about this or that? And until we get to the very final version. And sometimes we have more than 5 rounds of executive coaching and exchange of information with top senior leaders. And also we have quantitative measurements for high-performing teams. And when this information is coming, we allow the teams to provide input, especially when we are building the solutions to improve the effectiveness of that team through the time. And we are doing normally pulse checks on a quarterly basis. And we always collect the input from people. And this is a great way of capturing all the comments, putting all the comments into the documents that we use, and also in the project management system we are using. So then we are happy that we can collaborate in a very safe way there.
It's great to hear that it's so useful for you. Also, apart from Miguel's example, which is coming from the HR field, we collected a few more use cases where we think this new feature can be useful. One of them is in the legal world, when there's a contract negotiation phase, usually each team is sharing, each parties are sharing the contracts with their legal team. So that's a lot of back and forth. Document sending where amendments and modifications are needed. I don't know, Miguel, if you ever faced this situation.
Yes, when we work with top multinationals, before doing an intervention or a research project in that company or any kind of service that we provide, we always do it based on a contract. That means that we are discussing all the time what we are going to do, what we are going to deliver, by when, where are the boundaries in terms of roles, responsibilities from our side, our clients, and that has a lot of legal regulations. So then we have to exchange all the time comments in every single clause, and this is a very rigorous process that we follow with our customers before starting a project. And Tresorit is a safe area where we can collaborate and we can write and exchange all our comments through this solution.
Mm-hmm. And also in finance, when audit preparations happen, the teams need to collect a lot of information on spreadsheets. A lot of spreadsheets are changing places. I don't know if you have any example of.
Yes, specifically, there are projects where we are called to do a strategic alignment, and normal these annual strategic planning and quarterly plannings, we have access into that because we have to correlate normally the financial indicators to culture transformation projects. That's why we pay a lot of attention to the exchange of information in a safe environment and also in audits, because normally all companies are doing also other type of not only audits, but for example, in engagement surveys, in other kind of things. And from a financial perspective, as we are tracking performance of teams, we have access to that. And then we need to clarify certain indicators and we need to exchange. And it's a great way to collaborate with the finance people of those companies, explaining us what a number really means and how we can use it or not. So then this is example. And we have also in the IT, because from a digital perspective, it's over-regulated how we manage data, in which servers, the equipments, who has access to the information, how we track that people are doing very well use of information, what are all the security systems, not only in this exchange, but also in keeping the data super safe, because this is overly regulated. But I think is the right direction, because this is enabling a safer collaboration and people feel more comfortable after this exchange of information to work in a more constructive way, I would say.
Great. And the last example, what we brought is coming from the IT services world, when, for example, a company is acquiring a new tool, a new software. There's a lot of project documentation going on around that. And I think using this new feature is also a great way when sharing technical documentation and by keeping all this very sensitive information safe.
Something that I would like to add there, for example, from an IT perspective, in the project management applications that companies are using, normally we document everything that is happening, and instead of putting all the data there, we are putting links from these documents directly to our Tresorit cloud, where they can go and check the information and exchange everything. So then this is also a great complement to all these applications that companies are using to deal with projects. And then you don't have to compromise to put your data specifically inside that app. And you can even control much more who had access to what.
Great. This was all that we wanted to share about the Cooperative link, and thank you again, Miguel, for accepting our invite and sharing your experience with this new feature with us. Now let's see if we received any questions in the Q&A. Someone is asking if there could be any financial
I see one. Can several people work on a document at the same time?
No. So only like the link can be shared with many people. What the sender needs to do is to control the way how it's sent, because otherwise, yes, there can be a discrepancy with the versions. So, for example, the link is sent to two different people, and both of them are making changes. Then it can be confusing who changed what if it's not sent. So when multiple people need to work on a document, we highly recommend to the sender to send the document in an order that they can keep track of it. All the versions will be visible on the sidebar, by the way, but I think it's easier to handle those. I saw other questions. Someone said that if it's
there are more questions for you. Sarolta, basically, Paul Jimenez is saying, is this feature already available? I cannot see it.
It's available. Yes, it's an available feature, and it's available for our in the business packages or more. So business, professional, and enterprise packages. You can create the link, though it has some limitations. You can only create the link in the web application, and you need to have the document in a next-gen folder to be able to create it. So if you have a business subscription and you don't are not able to create this, or you don't see it, it's maybe because you're using the desktop app, and you can create it in the web app.
Yes, there is another question here. Sarolta, is this feature available for Business Plus license?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and the other one from Bertram Walter, is it possible for sharing a folder?
No, only files. Only files can be shared.
Very good. Paul Jimenez, also, it is not clear for me whether this feature is only for files or also for folders.
Only for files, no, not folders. Yes.
Very good. Then there is another question about the importance of this. What if, what happens if, why is this so important? So then basically, what I would like to say is, from a global data protection regulation perspective, I think it's very important to pay attention on how you are exchanging informations, because the penalties, basically, when we are not working properly in using data. I'm aware of several cases of colleagues, partners, and even some customers of problems, or not problems, but they have been audited and they had to pay very high penalties for not granting this security and this privacy of information. And I'm aware even of cases of more than 50,000-60,000 euros just for the violation of not dealing with data properly in the European Union. And a couple of cases I heard even above 100,000 euros just as penalties for that. That's why I think it's important to take this seriously, and that you protect the data, and that you have your records very, very well under control, and Tresorit helps you to do that. So then, just from my side.
Yes, the penalties can be very high in these cases. Okay, we're also running out of time, so if there are any questions which arrive in the Q&A, we will answer it later. Thank you so much for staying with us, and again, thank you, Miguel, for accepting our invitation and sharing your experience with us. I would like to also announce that from the new year, we will be launching our new thought leadership videos. So this will be the last live webinar. From next year, we will come back with a very new format. Those will be pre-recorded videos that we will share with you. And until then, you can watch the previous webinars on demand on our website. We had a very great ones in the last few months, for example, around NIS2 and virtual data rooms. And if you're interested in our services, book a demo with us. Our sales team is very happy to talk to you and share to you all the advantages of Tresorit. Thank you so much for your attention. And since this is the last webinar of the year, I'm also wishing you very happy holidays.